Hello my beautiful friends. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. So I am going to be reading 5-star reviews of my 1-star books. So these were my least favorite books that I absolutely hated. And I'm gonna be reading all of the rave reviews about them and seeing, can these people change my opinion? Can these people make me understand the hype? Recently, I did a video where I read 1-star reviews of my 5-star books. So I will post that video up above and down below if you want to go check it out. But a lot of you guys said you would love to see that video reversed. So that's what we're doing today. So I'm going on to Goodreads and I'm going to look up like my trash books and see what all the hype is about, okay? So the first one, the last book that I gave 1 star was Where I End by Sophie White. This is gothic horror. I absolutely hated it. I did not find a single redeeming quality about this book, and a lot of people love this one. So let's see why they love it. I felt like this one was just a book where absolutely nothing happened other than her changing her mom's diapers and abusing her mother and some nibble stuff. So, okay, so this review is kind of long, but I'm going to read through it because it seems like she's sharing like a personal experience. A few years ago when my twins were babies, we used to go on a drive. We used to go for a drive on a Sunday. We just flew around in the afternoon, stop at little shops for bags of crisps and ice pops, and pull in anywhere that looked interesting that had a bit of history to it. This one particular day, we ended up at an old building situated next to the graveyard that has some truly awful history attached. Myself and Philip got out of the car, walked over to the front of the building, looked at each other, and I can't remember which of us caught the horrors first, but one of us said, "Let's get the fuck out of here." It's the most uncomfortable I've ever felt in my life, and my overwhelming thought was, do not take the babies out of the car. I couldn't understand how other people were there walking in and out of the building as if nothing were wrong. Could they not feel it? Were they not afraid of getting into their cars with them and taking it home? I will never ever go back near that place. It haunted me for days and it makes me uncomfortable even thinking about it. This book is that feeling in words. It's visceral, stomach-churning, horrifying, dread, damp, stale, and fusty. It's also human and raw and describes the horror and fear of motherhood better than anything I've ever read. Blah, blah, blah. As a long-term creep, I thought I had a fairly good handle on how dark Sophie could go. I greatly underestimated her, and while I really liked her other books, I feel like this is it. This is the one she can write better than anyone else, The Horror of Humanity. Okay, so I guess she had some kind of like haunted experience at this place. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Books are so subjective, and especially horror is so subjective. I am not someone who gets scared, who gets creeped out, who gets, I don't know, like when I'm reading a book, I don't feel anything. I've talked about this in videos before. Like I genuinely am like an empty void of nothingness. I am just nihilism as a person. So I really struggle like feeling fear and terror and that creepy factor that we're supposed to get out of horror. I very rarely feel. So that's the thing. Like other people will pick up this book and be like, oh my God, this was so creepy. And this was just gave me this unsettling feeling. And I love that. I'm so jealous of them. Like I want to feel that. So like these 5-star reviews are so valid. But when I read this, I was just bored out of my mind. I felt like the main character was insufferable. And that's how I felt. I really did not find this book horrifying in the slightest. But I do still like respect other people's opinions, and I'm jealous of them for that reason. This book has made mincemeat out of me. Fucking hell. I've never cried in a horror book before. Absolutely devastating, horrific stuff. And that is a compliment. I mean, once again, I felt nothing reading this book, guys. Am I just exposing myself? Am I just exposing myself for like needing therapy or something? Because shit, what did I just read? That was the most fucked up, horrifying, subtly hostile, mess with your head thing I've ever read in a long time. At first you think you're just reading a coming of age story about a teenage girl who's starved for friendship, who's been cooped up her whole life and has been forced to grow up too fast. But around that 100-page mark, you realize, nope, that's not what you're reading, because it took a turn I didn't anticipate and just kept getting darker and more messed up the further I read. Here's the thing. It does take a turn, but the book is so slow. Like, the first half of the book is so slow. And then when it takes that turn, it was something that, like, I just was not interested in. It just ended up getting even more ridiculous to me. And that's what I didn't like about the book. I mean, I see how people who are into, like, thrillers and, like gothic horror would really be into this book probably. For me, I just end up feeling like plot twists are so goofy and not logical and they're not practical, and I end up getting like annoyed. Like, if I'm reading a thriller or horror, it has to be like super, super realistic and just make sense for me. And I don't get the hype of this book. Did these reviews change my mind? No, absolutely not. It's still 1 star for me. Oh my god, Riley Sager with a Vengeance. Oh my god, this was the worst book that I've read so far this year. The absolute worst book I've ever read in my life, probably. I think all my patrons gave this like 1 or 2 stars when we read it for our book club. We had just like a Riley Sager roast fest during our live. The link to my Patreon is always in the description box down below, but we had just like an off month where we decided to read this freaking book together, and oh my god, plot hole, hot mess central. Let's see what the 5 stars say. Demonically thrilling. Mr. Sager, I must vaunt this fuck shit unput-downable sorcery that you uttered into parchment here. Think a backdrop ambiance of an organized, desolate train ride, one that is punctuated with hours left to destination parts. Each hour decrease, each person left dead. The best part, everything hitting the fan. This is like a marketing review here. It was an against all plans type of predicament narrative, shaking even the host who organized it all, especially her matter-of-factly. Insanely compelling, the cinematic writing of undressing each passenger's ulterior motives was beautifully executed. I hated all of them and was disgusted with every human being here. No one was safe from my catch-all hate, and that's the beauty behind the mastery. Because I love loathing everyone in a thriller. Thank you. Okay, typo. That's what makes it fun when unraveling a genre of this essence. The plethora of twists were stacked to the brim. Dare I say, the ending even has a twist. The ending is the worst thing I've ever read in my life. In fact, this review was a better written story than this fucking Riley Sager novel. This, even with the typo, it was better than this fucking Riley Sager book. I swear to God, this is the worst book I've ever read in my life, and I have an entire rant review about it that I will leave linked up above and down below because, oh my God, it was actually insufferable. Who's next? I'm a Riley Sager enthusiast. So I pretty much love everything he writes, but this was exceptionally good. First of all, it was action-packed from the first page. It felt like you were on a train murder mystery dinner watching it all play out. Non-stop plot twists and so many sinister, unlikable characters. I truly enjoyed this and feel like it will help you get out of a book slump. It actually put me in a slump because it was like almost 500 pages and literally nothing happened the first 50% of the book, and then just nothing but ridiculous plot twists happen in typical Riley Sager fashion. So I am convinced that Riley Sager's family members are writing these reviews because there's no way. My favorite book of the year so far, definitely not a typical Riley Sager book, but I could not put down. Fair enough, but favorite book of the year? I'm gonna pass out. I'm literally going to faint. Like, this is getting my blood pressure high. Listen, no amount of persuasion is going to change my mind on this one. Like, no one is giving me a good argument here. I cannot just Riley Sager cannot be justified for me. This is sick. Okay, moving on. Let's go to, oh God. Should we do Sally Rooney? No. Oh God. Okay, I gave Normal People by Sally Rooney 1 star. I also have an entire rant review about this one that I'll leave linked. All my reviews that I've done, if I've done a separate like review, I will leave linked up above and down below if you want to check them out. I absolutely hated this book. It's a very controversial one. A lot of people love this book. A lot of people feel the exact same way that I do. So let's go to the 5 stars. This physically pains me. This is another one that physically hurts my soul. Okay, I am not reading. If these people wrote like a fucking novel for their review, I am not reading it. I'm not reading your novel. It's longer than the actual book, okay? Read this forever ago, but my 3-paragraph review I just came across was so embarrassing I had to delete it. What I was trying to say was that I loved it. Listen, I appreciate that this person is trying to get straight to the point for us, okay? That is very funny that I came across that review while looking at the 3-paragraph reviews. I feel kind of dead inside. That's how I feel all the time, and I felt dead inside reading this book because I hated it. So like, your dead inside is a lot different than my dead inside. All I'm gonna say is, I'm not a religious person, but sometimes I do think God made you for me. Read this book in a day and have spent the rest of the week in an obsessive fog Googling the author and book as if Marianne and Connell are real people who might have Facebook pages to stalk. I'm at the point of hate reading negative reviews. Sorry. I'm doing the opposite. I've annoyed all my group chats. I'm watching the Hulu show. So 5 stars is what I'm saying. Is the show better? People actually told me that the show is better than the book. I'm just asking. Will I watch it? No, absolutely not. I don't watch TV. But, I mean, listen, Linda, I love that people love this book. I love that people love books that I hate. It's just that I don't get it. I don't get it. These people were so paper thin and had like 0 qualities to them that I did not feel like they were real people. So like the fact that someone else read this and was like, hey, I feel like these are like real people that I can Google, I love that. For me, I felt the complete opposite. I'm like, how did you pull that from that? I don't know. But once again, this is something that I'm jealous of. I don't want to be a hater, but unfortunately I am. This novel utterly destroyed me in all the best ways. I cared so deeply for Sally Rooney's 2 young lovers and was gobsmacked by how beautiful each and every sentence was. There was also an authenticity of emotion that was palpable and constantly left me nodding my head in recognition. This has to be one of the most extraordinary love stories I've ever read. Really? How are people getting this from that? This from Sally Rooney's writing? How? I am not making the fucking connection in my head. What is wrong with me? Listen, I so badly want to love Sally Rooney. I do. Because every fucking time she comes out with a new book, I am reading it for literally no reason. It's like Riley Sager. Why am I doing this to myself? Why am I torturing myself? I so badly want to get it. I so badly want to fit in. I so badly want to be like one of the cool girls. Oh, I'm reading the new Sally Rooney and I love it. I so badly want that for myself. And my brain is like, no, girl, no. How are we pulling this from that? I don't get it, but I'm sure a lot of people say the same thing about me with Bret Easton Ellis, so I get it. Different strokes for different folks and all that, or whatever they say. Let's go with Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I, once again, have an entire video about this one. This has so many 5-star reviews, and I genuinely think this is one of the worst books ever written. So again, These people are not going to convince me. This was like the most cringy sort of like YA, not supposed to be YA fantasy book that I've ever read. Horrible writing, horrible characters, horrible character development, cringy sex scenes. I mean, I was plot hole central. I was ready to vomit reading this book. Totally worth the hype. This book is a romantasy lover's dream. More like a nightmare. Fourth Wing made me want to join a dragon rider school, except I'd probably die on the parapet. Worth it though. Girl. That one made me laugh because like I would go there and I would also like want to die. So that way I wouldn't have to see anymore. I'd be like, just please kill me in chapter 1. Hey Violet, how does it feel to live my dream? You have dreams of like going to this dragon rider school and being like small and petite, and you have terrible cringy sex right next to your dragons who are having terrible cringy sex, and like the buildings that's on fire. I don't remember the book, but I mean, a girl can dream, a girl can yearn, am I right? Okay, no, this is another one. No amount of convincing is going to get me. I am not going to change my mind in general. I don't know why I thought maybe someone would change my mind about one of these books, but I am the most stubborn person on planet Earth. And so there's no way anyone ever will change my mind about anything. So let's go to the eyes are the best part next. This horror book, I don't get the hype about this one. The book ending was the best part for me. So let's go to the 5-star reviews. All the girlies love this book. The feminine rage girlies love this book. So many reviews are just saying good for her. Literally good for her. It's a good for her novel because she's an unhinged woman. I'm tired of unhinged woman novels personally. Like most of them are done really terribly, and I think that this is a perfect example of that. I also have a video about this one. You already know. They're probably all popping up there, but I've just seen like 5 reviews that say good for her. I absolutely devoured this book, pun fully intended. And could give my experience with nothing less than 5 stars. Feminist rage mixed with body horror added in a dash of grief horror. Sign me the fuck up. See, this book was just so goofy to me. Like the over-the-top goofy cartoonish villains. Like I felt nothing for this main character. I felt nothing for anyone in this book. It was so over-the-top, stick figure characters, no personality, no nothing. I honestly thought that this was terribly written. I am such a hater in this video. And again, I don't want to be a hater, but I just am. I just am the way that I am. I can't. Oh, I hate scrolling through Goodreads and seeing so many people that I know. It's like I'm back in high school and I'm trying to like avoid someone at the grocery store. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I went to high school with that person and I don't want to see them. That's how I feel scrolling through these reviews right now. To quote Britney Spears, now get to work, bitch. Okay, that was cute. That was cute, I'm not gonna lie. Loved every second of this. Disorienting, I can't say the word infuriating. That's staying in, I'm not editing that out. Exciting, funny in places, basically a great all-arounder. Some really great observations on female rage, false wokeness, racism, and more. The pacing here was perfect, the language was accessible but smart, and it flew by in no time. See, I actually felt the exact opposite. See, I felt like the author was trying too hard to like get her points across about the commentary, and it just ended up feeling over the top cartoonish, and that's something that I don't like in my horror books, when the commentary is so heavily poured into the novel where things just feel like they're falling flat because you're so focused on trying to get your point across that you were left with these like cartoonish, goofy, like white men, like, oh, I'm going to like, I only eat macaroni and bacon 3 meals a day. Like, get a grip. Like, can't you write a realistic character while getting your point across? I don't know. People told me that they felt like this book was realistic. It's valid. It's all valid, but I can't. I can't do it. I cannot do it. While we're on a horror kick, let's go to Rest Stop by Nat Cassidy. I thought that this was the most ridiculous, goofy, silly little book I've ever read in my life. We also read this for one of the Patreon book club picks, and it was like another one where all of us collectively hated it as a group. Nat Cassidy never misses. He definitely missed with this one. I'm just saying. Absolute banger of a horror novella. Fast, wacky, disgusting, freaky, silly, and with some deftly integrated social and political commentary. I simply absorbed this. Social and political commentary? I don't think I remember that being in this book. All I remember is a guy fighting with another guy over a woman as grown adults, and they decided to throw condom water balloons at one another during an argument. And then there were googly eyes involved. I do not remember any sort of commentary about this book whatsoever. This one got me, y'all. I was legitimately terrified a few times while reading. Heart racing, breathing hard, yelling out no a few times. Fear unlocked. Loved it. I was yelling out no because I wanted this book to end so badly that every time something ridiculous happened in this book, I was like, no, this can't be happening. Like, it somehow just kept getting worse. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. That's why I was yelling out no. Because I couldn't believe that we freaking picked this for a book club book. No, I will absolutely never read another Nat Cassidy for our book club ever again. All right, let's do one more. Let's see. Oh, whoa. Let's do one more. Let's see. I'm gonna go to Bunny by Mona Awad. I hate this book, and so many people love this. This is such a loved book throughout the bookish space, and people are freaking out because now there's a sequel out. And this book like genuinely has a cult following, and I'm one of the people that just didn't get it. I'm like, why did I just read this nonsensical book about absolutely nothing? I hated every single thing about this book. Bunny, 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 bunny. Oh, Bunny, you're so funny. Bunny. That was this book. Just repeating the word bunny 600 times. So I am going to see if maybe someone can convince me that this is a literary masterpiece, because I do not understand Mona Awad. Oh boy. I love this book from its first sentence. I fell hopelessly in love with this book by the second page. After that, I kept reading along in a fog of joy. What did it mean? What did I care? Sometimes I made small ejaculatory noises as I read along. Mostly these noises resembled swift, soft barks of pleasure that weren't quite laughs, but were laugh adjacent. Okay. And I guess you could say that I finally figured out what I value most in contemporary fiction: an original voice, an author filled with confidence in her talents, that she knows what she's writing is utterly unique, and so she keeps writing more of it, sentence by sentence. Again, I don't get it. What are these people pulling from Mona Awad? I don't know. Again, another one I wish I could understand, and I don't. Bunny, I don't get it. I don't get it, Bunny. I especially don't understand the ejaculatory noises over Bunny by Mona Awad. If I wake up tomorrow and find out that I hallucinated this book, I'm not going to be surprised. What the fuck did I just read, and why was it so good? Exactly. What the fuck did I just read? And why was it so bad was my review. Like, I genuinely don't understand what this book was supposed to be. Is there an actual meaning to this book, or is it just a bunch of nonsense? Please let me know. I could not pull anything out of this book and what it was trying to tell me and what it was trying to say. Therefore, I just felt like it ended up being so ridiculous and pretentious to me because I know, me calling a book pretentious because I didn't understand it. Okay, haha. I already know someone's gonna say that, but again, like, if you're writing a book where nothing makes sense the entire time, it's a little pretentious. I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, I do feel that way. I'm not going to close a book and be like, oh, I'm really satisfied that I don't understand a single thing that happened in this book. You know what I mean? Yeah, I need to understand my books better than this. This book is so me vibes because I'm also a feminist that has psychosis. Okay, I loved that review, honestly. Maybe my review should be 5 stars now too. Okay, I think I'm gonna go. That was it. I hope you got some sort of enjoyment out of this. This was me reading 5-star reviews of my least favorite books. Again, I'm not judging anyone. I so badly wish I could be you. I wish I could understand, but that is the beauty of the bookish space. We all have different opinions. If you're watching videos and reviews of people who have nothing but 100% the same opinions of you day after day, it's boring. You're boring, okay? I love hearing other people's opinions, and I truly am not judging anyone based off of a book that they happen to love that I hated or vice versa. I don't care. I genuinely do not care about your reviews, okay? There is so much more to life, and there are so many things happening in the world that are more important that we should be getting worked up about. We should not be getting worked up about other people's book reviews. So with that being said, I hope you didn't take offense to this. I still love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.